5 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Madam, I support the motion of thanks to the President's address and especially appreciate the first 3 points in her 100-day agenda, which is to bring in the Women Reservation Bill to provide 50% reservation for women in panchayats and urban local bodies and to increase representation of women in central government jobs. However, while I wholeheartedly endorse these initiatives, I think we all need to look within and see as to why it has taken independent India 62 long years to send in 58 women to parliament to voice the needs of 500 million women of our country. Madam, when I go to my villages, to the panchayats and ask for the sarpanch, all the villagers point to a man. When I mention that the sarpanch is a woman, I am told that the village panchayat is reserved for the women, and so the husband uses his wife to become the sarpanch, and actually he handles all the village affairs and she knows nothing. While I fully welcome the Honorable President's commitment to the 50% reservations in panchayats, I do hope Her Excellency does not mean this kind of reservation. Next, providing the right environment for women is as important as providing the opportunity to empower the women in reality. First and foremost, providing this environment is to give the women equal right to take birth and to live. We live in a country where more than 5 billion baby girl children are denied their right to take birth because of their gender. According to the UN estimates, more than 2,000 unborn girls are not allowed the right of their birth every day in our country, and more than 90% of all abortions takes place in our country are to eliminate the girl child. When we talk about the Women's Reservation Bill and things like that, we find that female feticide is so rampant in our country that it sounds like a bit of a joke. When I sadly regret is that the Honorable President's address did not even have a mere reference to deal with female feticide, leave alone dealing with how to curb it and stop it. I therefore urge upon the government to make a multifold action plan first and foremost to change the mindset of the people regarding girl child and to put a stop to the rituals like dowry, which I feel are the main reasons that the girl child is considered a burden and hence goes ahead to deal with female feticide. After we deal with changing the mindset, parallelly we should start giving the options for the girl child to be able to go ahead in life, which is by giving her access to the right environment of good education, good health facilities, etc. Even basic necessities like drinking water and toilets are to be provided. I regret to say that I come from a constituency which is so backward that in 80% of my constituency there is no drinking water. The moment the little girl child is 5 years old, she accompanies her mother to bring a pitcher of water on her head 6 times a day. When there is no drinking water, she has to go to the toilet under the cover of darkness. If there is a village school, if there are no teachers, there is no dispensary, and there is no health care, how is this little girl ever going to get educated and to become the sarpanch or to reach this parliament? So, I would appeal to the government to look into these things. I come to the girl child of the urban areas. We have literacy to the extent of 73%, but in the rural India, it is only a measly 46%. So, providing the right environment, I would say, is as important as providing the opportunity of making reservation to allow them to get in Parliament. The Honorable President also mentioned that 50% of our country's population is below 25 years of age and the government carries the burden of their dreams. These dreams can only be realized if we face the stark reality that the youth of our country today is facing the menace of drug abuse. There is a menace called drug abuse which is rampant in the youth. Unless serious measures are taken to arrest and curb the people running and aiding these drug syndicates, opening numerous drug de-addiction centers will neither go to answer the problem nor save the youth of our country, which I feel is the backbone of our country. As an example, I would like to give the scenario of my state of Punjab. Punjab, being a border state, is in close proximity to the Golden Crescent, which consists of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran, which are the major manufacturers of opium. Punjab has emerged as the new hub for international drug trafficking.